Regional Australia is in the middle of a food revolution. Our little towns are overflowing with the freshest produce and most exciting cuisine. And it's our job to explore these places with the caravan in tow. We'll find delicious food, meet colourful local characters, and show you the most beautiful places to make camp. Join Chef Macca, Tim, and me, Emma, as we embark on our RV Daily Foodie Trails. So, Chef Macca, where are you taking us to?
Oh, we're going to this delightful little place called Lake Wallace, Em.
No, I think Lake Wallace sounds like the perfect place for the first night of our foodie trail.
Well, this will do for now, eh? What do you reckon?
You couldn't manufacture something better, to be perfectly honest.
It's a man-made lake.
This foodie trail will be taking us from Lithgow through Millthorpe and into Orange, a grand total of around 150 k's of easy roads and stunning scenery. Lake Wallace is an RV-friendly free camp, one of the many we will be visiting on our foodie trails. It's got great facilities including showers, an off-leash dog area and a dump point. It's the perfect spot to unhitch and explore Lithgow, just minutes away. And on this foodie trail, we've hitched up our Ram pickups to two luxurious Sejuna off-road caravans, the 13-foot twin berth for me and the 15-foot four-berth for Chef Macca and Tim. Together, we'll be discovering some of the most delectable culinary experiences New South Wales has to offer. This looks beautiful, Sammy. It's a foodie traveller's dream come true.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this. You've got no idea.
So let's get into it. And my first stop is the Royal Hotel at Capertee, a beautiful old pub with delicious homemade pies, a warm fireplace, and craft beer on tap. But there's a whole lot more to enjoy out the back. Crafty! Craig Crafty Field owns Craftworks Distillery, an award-winning whiskey business he runs out of a shed, behind a pub, while living in a caravan. So it's like a holiday house with whiskey.
Yeah.
The best kind.
Yeah. Or a man cave, depends on how you
Aha. I had no idea how many Aussies are taking on the Scots when it comes to producing world-beating whiskies.
But in Scotland, their climate is summer, winter. There's not a lot of variation. Here, we get a lot of variation. So because you get a lot of variation, these become, the way I describe it, a pump. So you get expansion and contraction.
Of the wood.
Of the wood.
Okay.
And what happens then is it draws out the flavours that are in the wood.
Crafty's work is really very special. He sources barrels from all over the world. Some carry wine flavours, others have bourbon or honey. Then there's the toasting of the wood. Every bottle Crafty sells has a backstory. And I'll be taking one of these stories back to camp to share with Tim and Chef Macca.
So I've actually named it Rage. That's about 64%.
That is delicious. It's smooth. I chose the single malt, but to find out how to get your hands on your own bottle, pop over to rvdaily.com.au. Yeah, it's beautiful. So you're quite proud of this one then?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Give me that back. Now it's Chef Macca's turn to explore this region, and he's heard about a local butcher and farmer who sells direct to the public from his farm gate just outside Lithgow.
That's amazing.
Gary Roberts from Fernbrook Farmgate Meats specialises in hot smoked hams, organic beef and lamb, and award-winning sausages.
My father was a butcher as well, and I did my apprenticeship with my father.
Was he a little bit harder than your average?
Well, it's very hard when your boss is your dad, because when you go home, you don't get to put your feet up. You normally then get into trouble for things you've done at work that you didn't do and didn't realise.
This beautiful old farm was set up as a dairy back in the 1870s. The smokehouse was the original stables, and Gary has converted the old homestead into a farm stay B&B. And it's worth noting he also allows free camping for us caravanners. It's a great way to stock up on your meat supplies at the start of your travels.
So this is our butcher shop.
Do I look like a butcher?
You do look half the part anyway. Yeah.
The things we do for love.
Oh, now you look better.
Yeah, that's my good side.
Chef Macca is about to learn why Gary's gourmet snags sell out every day before he even makes them.
That's a shoulder blade?
That's a shoulder blade?
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll tell you what, I'm really surprised at the quality of the meat that you're putting into these sausages. At the end of the day, I thought it was just, you know, eyebrows, nostrils and underarms.
Well, I think that's a lot of people think when they call them mystery bags.
Yeah, fair enough.
The first mincing is called a dry mix, to which Gary adds a secret mix of herbs and spices.
This is what Foodie Trails is all about. It's finding these little hidden gems, and we've found one, mate. I tell you what, this is a gold mine. This is lucky strike.
Another run through the mincer. Then it's time to pack and tie them, which is not as easy as it seems.
All right, and twist this one. There you go, look at that. You've made 3 sausages.
That's so empowering, Gary.
Looks like tonight's dinner is sorted. One now for the vegetarians. Secret Creek is an animal sanctuary and restaurant, perfect for the whole family. And once again, they allow free camping here too. Although the whole menu is vegetarian, I'm told that they have some of the most delicious food in Lithgow. But before I chow down, I have to meet the locals, including this very special mountain pygmy possum, a species that until recently was thought to be extinct.
So these little guys haven't changed in about 20 million years. And they're one of the first marsupials.
Trevor Evans set up the Secret Creek as a sanctuary and family home. He's since converted the old house into a cafe, which is now run by head chef and daughter Tennille, who specialises in plant-based vegan food. Wow, you've really put on a spread for me here, Tennille.
We should start maybe with our signature dish, which is KFC, but instead of chicken, we use cauliflower.
Tennille creates the most gorgeous combinations of flavours and textures. It's a revelation. Dishes such as banana blossom ceviche on crostini with fennel cream. Seriously, meat eaters, come here and try it. You will be converted, I promise.
It's not health food that we do here, it's more like comfort food. So we still fry things, we still use salt, we still use sugar.
Yeah.
All of those things that make flavour, we still use all of that. We just don't use any animal products.
We head on back to Lake Wallace to share our fabulous adventures from throughout the day, as Chef Macca cooks up his perfectly tied mystery bags.
Oh, those are beef. All right.
After the break, we travel west to explore Millthorpe.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this. You've got no idea.
This morning in Lithgow, we were greeted with a light dusting of snow.
Go camping, they say. It'll be fun, they say.
Which, by the way, our Rams are more than built for.
Heated steering wheel, heated seats, hot driver, great aircon, heated windscreen, obviously. Well, it's a bit of a given, but obviously these trucks are sold in North America, where obviously it gets a little bit chillier than Lithgow.
I think now we're on our way to Millthorpe, the little historic village of Millthorpe just outside of Orange. But before we explore Millthorpe's culinary delights, we're setting up at another stunning free camp in Macquarie Wood. If you're new to caravanning or wondering where to go or what to see, pop over to our wonderful website, rvdaily.com.au, where you can find loads of info, including the best free camps. So while Tim sets up camp, Chef Macca and I are off to explore Millthorpe, starting with the Beekeepers Inn. This place is home base for one of Australia's largest honey producers. It's a family business that Dad started 40 years ago with just 2 beehives. Now one sibling runs the more than 8,000 beehives. His brother looks after manufacturing and distribution. Their sister manages catering and events.
And then myself, I brew a bit of beer, got a little microbrewery on site.
So you're the rat bag sibling.
Pretty much, and yeah, they would all say that.
There's one in every family. Yeah. I'm actually the rat bag in my family.
Yeah, I'm definitely the black sheep.
Mark Lockwood loves brewing beer. especially when he uses the family honey, which, by the way, you can taste when you pop in here. What is it that makes honey so special?
When you think about a hive, and a bee will only produce 1/8 of a teaspoon in its life cycle. So
Wow.
when you're eating a teaspoon of honey, there's been a lot of bees to make that.
1/8 of a teaspoon in its
Yeah,
life cycle. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So we just ate about 16 bees worth
Yeah,
of
about
honey.
that probably.
Thanks, guys. Not only do you get to taste honey here, you also get to sample the home brew. What have we got here?
That's our lager. Nice, easy drinking Australian style lager.
Okay. Delicious. It's 12 o'clock somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, not here.
Oh, that's lovely. Chef Macca calls into Tonic Restaurant to learn from chef and local legend Tony Warland.
Can I do the parmesan?
Yeah, hang on. That's last.
Tony is cooking up a venison shank ravioli with truffle.
All right, so we'll get a bit of colour on that.
Yep.
And then a bit of onion.
While the shank seals, Tony cooks a classic mirepoix to which he adds the fried shank.
And chuck that in there. And I've got one of the local wineries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm just going to use a little bit of that.
To deglaze the...
Deglaze the pan. And these bay leaves.
Every house should have a bay tree. You can grow these yourself and the flavour is 10 times better than what you get in the plastic bag.
Tony adds veal stock, lid goes on, and it's into the oven for 6 hours.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this, you've got no idea.
Plating up involves combining the braised meat with herbs, marrow, fresh pasta, parmesan and truffle, and a glass of local Shiraz.
It's good.
That goes well.
If you had a thought 20 years ago, maybe more, 30 years ago, what Australians were eating then and what we're eating now is totally different.
Yes.
And it's only because I think, one, we have that access to other produce that we didn't know about before, and that has a lot to do with probably our multicultural society, stuff that you'd never see, and now they're sort of coming to the forefront and we're able to access them and utilise them.
Yes.
And have a bit of fun with it. I think that's probably the main point, isn't it? You've got to turn around and have a little bit of fun with it. Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
Now it's time for one of Tim's tips.
Tyres. Common misconception about tyres on a caravan that you need mud terrains for your off-road caravan. Not really true. Mud terrain tyres are going to be heavier, affect your fuel consumption, and they're not driven wheels. A great compromise is an all-terrain tyre. As the name suggests, all-terrain covers all bases. What you should look for, though, is the light truck designation. At least you're going for the stronger sidewalls and the puncture-resistant tread patterns. One thing to remember, though, is that wherever you go, if you're considering that you need to change your tyre pressures on your tow vehicle, correspondingly, you need to alter the tyre pressures on your caravan as well. Now, for more information on everything to do with tyres, the types, technology, pressures, head to rvdaily.com.au, and I'll even tell you what these two dots mean.
You want to sample the finest this region has to offer? It's all right here in the one shop, along with great coffee, and you can even pick up a ready-to-go picnic hamper for any lonely friends you may have back at camp. I've got a cranky pom that's stuck back at camp.
Oh, no, he won't be cranky after this.
Oh, good,
Oh, no.
good,
You'll
good,
find
good.
his happy place.
Perfect.
You'll love it, you'll love it.
Thanks very much, Patty.
Thank you.
See you later. Hey, lonely guy.
Oh, hello. I swiped right and you appeared. What happened?
In your dreams, mate.
Yes.
Well, I felt a little bit sorry for you while I was warm and cosy inside the Millthorpe Providore. And so they've sent me off this little picnic basket for you.
Oh, what is that? It was the worst of times. It was the best of times.
Actually, it's almost dinner time. Chef Macca is whipping up his very own unique sliders.
You can have all sorts of sliders, and most people would probably just use a bit of minced meat and a bit of flour and an egg, but this is my secret weapon. It's the blue cheese.
And that's going to give it a beautiful, creamy texture. And of course, that sharpness that you get from the cheese.
The mix includes an egg, oregano, chilli, and, inspired by Tony's mirepoix, onions, celery, and garlic.
When Em visited that whiskey distillery, she brought back a little sample. What it is with the whiskey is the whiskey actually takes over the role of the salt. See the salt? Don't need it.
Bread acts as a binding agent, and all that's left to do is cook.
The sugar that's naturally occurring in the whiskey is going to give that, of course, that lovely little bark on the outside.
Up next, we arrive in Orange, land of great food and wine, and what we've all been looking forward to, our happy hour party.
End of the party! Go and do that.
And finally, our wonderful foodie trail ends in the beautiful central west town of Orange. And while Tim and Chef Macca set up camp, I'll head into town to collect goodies for our first Caravan Park happy hour party. Now, Orange really is a foodie traveller's dream come true. There are so many high-quality food experiences, it's impossible to show you everything right here on the telly. So pop over to our website for a comprehensive guide. But right now, I'm picking up some freshly baked sourdough from Racine Bakery, hidden out the back of the Woolies car park.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
It smells delicious in here.
Yes, lots of yummy things today.
Well, Racine Bakery seems to be hidden away in the corner of the Woolies car park, but it's been so busy here. It seems that people don't have that much trouble finding it.
The locals really know where we are. We do often get a few tourists who've heard, we've been looking for you for ages and finding, but yeah, it is a little bit tucked away, but that's kind of nice. It's a nice little surprise.
It's a little hidden gem.
Yeah, exactly.
Willa and Sean Arantz have been running restaurants in Orange for years. But more recently, Sean has realised his love of baking, and the people of Orange are the winners. But this is where the magic happens, up the road at their restaurant and bakery. And apart from incredible breads and cakes, Sean makes a mean croissant.
On a Saturday, we do 700 to 800.
Right.
And they're gone in a couple of hours.
That's amazing. The perfect choice for tonight. Now, Chef Macca is on the hunt for some fine wine.
I got the good oil back at camp. There's this fabulous winery out here called Bloodwood Winery, and it's a completely organic winery where everything, it's a closed system, so nothing comes in except empty bottles and nothing goes out except beautiful wine, I'm told.
Stephen Doyle and his wife Rhonda are pioneers of the orange food and wine revolution. Terms such as bovine dynamic all point to the fact that they balance everything on their property, from water and soil to cattle and grapes, everything working together to make great wine.
I get asked, are you biodynamic? And I say, well, no, we're not. We're bovine dramatic. I don't put the horn in, I put the whole herd in. And in there, there's 60, 70 centimetre Murray cod in that little puddle.
Is there really?
All the dams are plumbed down to this bottom one here.
Yes.
Like through gravity. And all the ones up the back there, and I've got this
solar pump
which pumps up 365 days a year up to the top one.
That's taken a lot of thought. You must have cogitated.
I cogitated.
Many a time.
I got out of bed one day, I thought, I'm going to have a good cogitate on this. So this Shiraz on our right.
Ruminate and cogitate.
And remonstrate when the cogitation doesn't take effect.
The thing that makes these vineyards so special are the rocks and the soil.
This is where I've chosen to grow grapes. 37 years ago we planted the place. And the volcano, which is just there, the soil from that is 13 million years old, like the geology underneath it. This is 430 million years old. Great variety of soil types, great variety of aspects. Sauvignon Blanc does well here, Shiraz does well here, Chardonnay does well here, Riesling, Cabernet on occasions if it's grown properly. They all do well.
Like all great winemakers, Stephen Doyle is a scientist, a farmer and an artist. So when Chef Macca was asked to spit out his wine, well, it just seemed rude. Up next, we tell you how you can win a caravan to go on your very own foodie trails. And we celebrate at our happy hour party. Back back in beautiful Orange and we're almost ready for our happy hour party. But first, it's lunchtime and I want to visit an Asian restaurant everyone raves about, Mr. Lim. How this place came to be is a funny story. Owner and head chef Sam Gion explains.
I bought a 1995 green Jeep Cherokee on Parramatta Road with dodgy guy. And I went to Mayo Lake for the camping. My car broke down. I spent all my money down there, and then I had to come here picking apple.
Eventually, the legendary winemaker Philip Shaw gave Sam a start, and he hasn't looked back. But guess where he learned his cooking skills?
Okay, this is embarrassed me. I went a lot of time to Din Tai Fung, Mr. Wong, Kali Kwong. I'm just sitting down. How many pinch, when they're making dumplings? And then I was standing there for like half an hour and I come back to watching YouTube. There's all the information on the YouTube.
This looks beautiful, Sammy.
Thank you. I get a good glass of wine.
Okay, thanks. This looks like it's going to be a textural and flavoursome sensation. Mr. Lim is yet another reminder that the best food is always made with love. That's really good. There's no better way to see the real Australia than by caravan, so we're giving you the chance to win an Easy Trails Sejuna 15. This luxurious family van has been given the RV Daily Foodie Trails tick of approval. We think you'll love the comfortable king-size bed, the onboard bathroom and the functional outdoor kitchen for your very own Foodie Trails. Valued at $65,000, the Sejuna 15 has everything you need for your next adventure. All you have to do is bring the cheese and wine. To go into the draw to win this fantastic prize, head over to rvdaily.com.au. And now it's time to party. And Chef Macadoodle is cooking up a bunch of sliders and Lithgow snags. So I better go and find some takers.
Let's go knock on a few caravans. Hello, you know about our happy hour party? How you going?
No worries.
Okay, knock, knock. Bust out the good volleys for the happy hour party. It's a special occasion. Oh, okay. Oh, so good. Hey, Bob.
How you going, Emma?
Nice to meet you. Hi. You're not in your undies, are you?
And so to our fabulous happy hour party at the Colour City Caravan Park, where we can share the goodies we've collected on our foodie trail. And isn't this what it's all about? Exploring Australia in comfort, discovering the best food in the world, pulling up at stunning free camps and caravan parks, and making new friends. It really doesn't get any better than this. See you next time.